We have on the left-hand corner, the 9 o'clock position, the Red Terran. Very fearsome.
Slayer CM.
At the top, the blue Protoss.
TSA Killer.
A great player.
With a spiffy jacket.
Actually, Slayers has good jackets too. Battle the good jacket teams.
Well, it's funny because Slayers have blue jacket, but his in red color, and then TSL has red jacket, but his in blue color.
Oh wow, that's quite true. You know, those are two sharp jackets, but they'll never beat the Gracket. Took you a minute.
Took me a minute, yeah, sorry.
That's all right. I forgive you.
Because he's not here anymore,
No,
so we don't think about him
he's
that
still
much.
here in my heart.
In your heart. So is his cat. But I do see that they're
Very
going
quick
for standard
scout, huh?
opening.
Yeah.
Quick scout.
Standard by MMA. Standard by Killer as well. You know, Killer.
I'm starting to like this map more and more.
Terminus Re puts out some really interesting games. You know, you can get really greedy and take very many bases. There's just, look how many bases are actually there.
16.
The map actually looks like a flower of some sort.
Plus, you know, your second natural, which is right next to your natural, has 6 mineral patches and 1 base. But the thing about that is the only way you can get into it is through your natural.
Yeah.
So that literally you can just block off that one entrance, because that one entrance in your natural leads to your main and to your second natural. His probe is actually hiding behind. Okay, not hidden now. Gets spotted.
Ooh. Nice juking and jiving by the probe. Gonna get out of there. That probe is want life.
MMA only now. Just going to spot. Killer.
Well,
Getting a reactor on his
yeah.
barracks.
I am wondering what he's going to do with that. Such a quick reactor. Huh, I think he's going to go ahead and expand off of that, actually. Whereas Killer.
But he got 1 gas, which is weird. Maybe to get a reactor, but still.
No, I know. It is weird. Looks like he wants to pool some gas, getting that quite quick command center. And I mean, if you're scouted so quickly and you don't get your gas, your opponent's going to automatically know that you're pass expanding. You get the gas, well, you can still go Marine expand. It's going to be with the reactor, though. And he does throw up a factory as well, so pulling some gas for that tech at the same time.
See, he can do 2 things at this point in time. He can either do reactor Marines, or he can do reactor Hellions, which are both very good for harassing. And Hellions are so good on this map because it's so big, and Hellions are fast, has high mobility. Looks like Killer.
Killer not really choosing to do anything in particular yet.
Yeah.
I do like the little harassment here.
This time he's trying to be the aggressive one. He actually did a lot of damage in that one. Took down like 3 Marines.
Yeah, no, it was worth the Zealot. That Zealot actually isn't useful other than tanking damage against a Terran rush.
Wow, getting an extremely quick Robo Bay. 1 gate Robo.
Yeah, doesn't quite know what's going on, but when you see the bunker, it always scares you into thinking, oh, he might be going Banshee. So it was, you know, a decent call.
He's getting Ghost. No, Armory. Ghost. Armory. No, Ghost. Armory. Sorry. It's really small on the screen.
I know, that would be a quick Ghost Rush, I have to say. All right, so Hellion going across the map.
Armory? You mean he's going for Tar Drop?
Huh.
Don't know. That's a pretty early
He may be
Armory.
going for a Thor, yeah. It's definitely a possibility.
Well, the Hellion was denied the scout by the sentry over there. I'm actually kind of interested to see what he wants to do with that early Robo.
I'm really interested by this early Armory. Go ahead, MMA. Show me what you're made of. If he starts +1 weapons for Siege Tanks, I'm going to be so happy. Because that means we're going to see
He's
Matt.
getting a...
He is getting a Thor, okay. Alright, getting a Thor.
How strong do you think that would be against a Protoss army? I mean, it can get taken down very easily by Zealots, a lot of Zealots.
Yeah. That's quite true. Now, the interesting thing is that Thors have a tipping point where they aren't so good in small numbers against pros. Maybe like there's situations like if they have a lot of Phoenix, maybe you want one in there to deal some splash damage, something like that. But there's a tipping point where when you actually start to max out on Thors and they all have Strike Cannon, that they kill stuff very fast. Psystorm doesn't do a whole lot to them. Colossi don't do a whole lot to them. And Strike Cannons can take out Immortals quite quickly because it has good range compared to Immortal attack range. So mass Thor strategies can be quite nice. But yeah, just a couple Thors here and there. Not always as useful. Ooh, double Stargate.
Wow, double Stargate.
I like. I wonder if
he sees it though.
I wonder if he won't possibly. Yeah, the Observer seeing everything. If he will possibly go Phoenix Colossus right off 2 base. That'd be kind of interesting. You know, the map is so long, he might be able to get away with something like that.
He's also getting a Raven. I actually kind of like this 2 players build right now. They are choosing to go out with conventional builds, and it'd be really interesting to see what he actually does with his semi-mag army right now. Getting an Immortal, which is really strong against Marauders, but at this point in time, Terran player isn't getting Marauders.
Now, a 3rd command center going up.
There's also kind of a proxy barracks over there.
Ah, Void Ray Immortal. This is cool. He sees the Thors. He's like, all right, I'm going to totally own everything you make. Void Ray Immortal. And obviously both those can be quite good against Thors. This is actually turning into such a weird and interesting game.
Weird and interesting game.
It really is. I mean, this is a bunch of weird builds going on.
arcing his eyebrows at the game screen.
I am. I'm actually studying this as if it's like hieroglyphs I've never seen. I'm like, well, I have to try to figure out what these guys are doing before they do it, because I've never seen a game quite unravel like this, especially on this map. And it's such a big, long map, too.
It's actually very, very hard for you to go a mag army in this map as a Terran player because of how far the bases are from each other.
Yeah.
A mag army is extremely strong, but once you lose it, it's very hard to rebuild, and they're slow. He's gonna float his barracks in, sees the Void Ray.
Well, that's pretty important that he sees the Void Ray. He only sees 1 Stargate, though. He doesn't know just how many Void Rays are being made.
He sees a robotics facility. Void Rays are actually gonna come in, but Void Rays can be countered pretty easily by Marines. You just have to be prepared for it.
Marines counter everything Killer's doing here, and I like this. The Void Rays in the back, gonna take out some depots. Very annoying. At the same time, he starts attacking in the front.
They're actually charged right now.
Charged Void Rays are deadly indeed, and Killer's
MMA.
Void Rays. Ooh. I like this.
MMA needs to move your SCVs, which he's doing so right now. A couple of Marines coming in, but they're already charged. Only thing they can stop them right now.
Thor's pushing them back a bit.
And at the front, he loses the bunkers to Immortals and Stalkers. Great 2-prong attack there by Killer. Killer really showing what a good Brood War player he is. He's showing his power in such a big map. Because Brood War always has a lot of super big maps.
That is quite true. And you know what I love is that he's actually going Phoenix during all this as well to counter the Vikings that are going to come out to counter the Void Rays. So he's staying a step ahead of MMA. Both of them on 3 bases at this point. Killer's staying quite heavily on his air units, not giving that up yet.
Oh, look at those Void Rays just charging up.
Taking that throw out right away. Of course, they do have a great deal of damage against Thors.
Oh, Phoenix is gonna snipe the Raven. Ravens are so important for a Terran army.
Yes, indeed they are. And these Void Rays doing sick damage while the Phoenix holds off the Vikings. But now the Vikings are coming to play, and he's going to end up losing these.
He's gonna focus down the Vikings as much as he can. The Vikings are actually afraid right now, but they should not be because they are backed up. He lost so many SCVs over there.
Yeah, he really did. 53 SCVs against 71 probes right now. And MMA MMA building Marines in the back of Songho's main. Even though Songho sees it. Sorry, Killer.
He's getting more finishes on the way. He did invest in +1 for his Stargate units.
Yeah, and if you're going this many, why not? I mean, it's a very cheap upgrade. It doesn't take all that long. The Cybernex core isn't doing anything else. People normally totally neglect any upgrades there.
And maybe he might want to go for a counter aggression right now. He can't just let Protoss have complete map control.
Right now, the supply is 123 for Protoss, 121 for Terran. This is... And the units they have that make up these supplies are just so weird. Look at this. It looks like a city. It looks like a Star Wars movie at Killer's base.
You're right.
I mean, he's got like all these weird units sitting together and stuff, and like little jet things are like flying by real quick. Seriously. Next thing we're going to see is an assassin with some weird worm thing trying to kill like Padme or whatever.
Well, look at now what he's getting. He's trying to get Ghost Academy to burn away the shields of the Protoss unit. Not exactly sure that can be his best way to tag right now.
It is an interesting choice. I mean, I guess take out the Immortals, but he's got a lot of Marines as well. And, well...
Phoenixes are actually going into the main base of MMA and picking up SCVs and killing them. We might see an engagement over here. Looks like Killer actually does not want to fight at the moment.
Yeah, that's the thing is the Marines with Stim, they have +1 Stim and combat shields. And the army that Killer has really isn't all that good against that. Void Ray's not all that good against it. Mortal's not all that good against it. Phoenix, no, not really either. So really he's going to be relying on this weird unit composition to try to take that out. But MMA has already turned around, so he's going to be fine for now. I think it's about time, though, for people to take their 4th bases. I mean, they've done the dance long enough. And in fact, they're both doing that at the same time. In the top right, as you see on the mini-map, we do have another Nexus being built. And at the 3rd base of Terran, we do have another command center being built to float out. Because these guys realize it is, in fact, time for more bases.
But you know what? Today we are actually seeing the 3rd TSL player playing today.
Yeah, TSL. 7 of their players got into the TSL.
Well, Phoenixes are doing so much harass.
That is actually so great. In fact, he didn't have 1 turret.
Why did he not build a turret? He had an engineering bay for so long.
I tell you, I'm sure he's wishing that he had. And I do want to point out that at this point, Killer is transitioning beautifully into Colossus. So, you know, there's a lot of Marines out there, and that's what he's scared of. Now he's going a lot of Colossus. And yeah, the Vikings are still going to be good against that. And yeah, the Thors are going to be fine against that. But if he can kill off the Marines, everything else should die.
Plus, you have a lot of Immortals, which I really like. I love an Immortal army. They're so strong. People actually underuse them. Both of them do not want to fight right now. You can see from the way they're moving on the map.
Nice! Sniping Ghosts! Huge moves! Huge moves sniping Ghosts. And MMA, is he going to be in trouble? Some good EMPs going off. He's got to target the Immortals onto the Thors. And it looks like Killer is going to be able to kill this army off.
Here comes the Zealot with charge. Taking down the tower really easily. You know what? It was because of that 2 goals that got caught. Otherwise, an engagement...
It absolutely was, yes.
The engagement would be like, they wouldn't want to fight. But that 2 goals was so important. He lost like the 2 pivotal unit in his army.
Those are expensive.
I know,
expensive. Them to actually cast their spells, get some EMPs off. If they don't, then suddenly you're in a lot of trouble. Now, supply-wise, it's 122 to 128 with Killer in the lead. SCVs, 57. Probes, 74. So Killer definitely with a better economy here, but the Mules do make up for that a little bit. Thing is, Killer does have 4 base, whereas MMA is still only at 3. We saw that command center right there. He's getting ready for another one.
But look at the pylons, they are all around the place.
Yeah.
Preventing him to actually drop or actually just to scout, even just to prevent the expansion for a while so he can get his army there in time to prevent the expansion. There's a scan going off in the middle of the base. This is not a good time for him to actually try to fight. Killer needs to get more units.
Yeah, Killer's unit composition is a little bit weird, but those Colossi are what is going to make the entire difference. Ghosts are not going to be all that useful against them. And they're going to slaughter Marines. So. These Marines coming in, but guess what? There's photon cannons and stuff to warp in. Sorry, Marines. No damage today.
Oh, wait, you bring up
well,
props.
That was terrible. Killer getting a ton of upgrades right now. Blink, he's actually getting shields, and he's getting ground armor.
It's so hard to see such a diverse army in a PvT map like we are seeing right now. I actually feel quite happy and fortunate to see such a big and diverse Terran army, because most Terrans, they go either very heavy bio build or they go pure mech build.
Yeah, that's very true. And it's one of the weirder armies I've ever seen. There's 2 siege tanks and a bunch of Thors and some Marines and Marauders.
And a couple of ghosts.
And some ghosts and some medevacs. So basically it's like every unit ever conceived. There's like a vulture from StarCraft 1 in there. How did he get in there? I don't know. Or Thors joining the battle. Both players just about maxed out. Killer 193, 179 for MMA.
Bring his stalkers up front.
He does not have strike cannons, which I am surprised with. Strike cannons could be possibly used for
MMA wants to fight. Here we go.
And those Zealots are going to do sick damage to these Thors. MMA's army looks like it's going to get crushed. Colossi all almost dead, but not quite. And everything gone. 155 supply left for our Killer. 101 for MMA. And I think MMA, he's going to have to fly away his 4th. Killer, in the meantime, is up to 5 bases. This is just not something that MMA is going to be able to recover from.
Well, looks like MMA is not going to be able to hold up against Killer's force right now. The unit army composition against his is just too much.
Quite
Zealots
true.
coming in. He's going to lose the Natural any minute.
GG.
GG.
All right. We're now 1-1. Game number 3 coming up.
These games are really good.
Yeah, they are. They truly, truly are. Killer taking a drink of his water.
And the games are so close. We can actually see on the scoreboard right now.
Yeah, their scores are certainly quite similar. Okay. So,
Going to the ace match.
going to game number 3. It's pretty exciting. Zelnaga Caverns. You know, I have to tell this story. I'm sorry, because you just made me think of it when you said the scores were similar. Way back, before you guys were probably even born, back in 2002, when WCG started holding qualifiers in USA, there was a time limit on rounds.
Really?
Yeah, so if you hit the time limit, it was 30 minutes. Most StarCraft games are under that, especially back then. If you hit that, it would go on score. But the thing was, you could morph Guardians and then unmorph, and you'd lose nothing, and it would add your score. So I hit the max time limit against Duty once, and he killed me in score and got the win. Funny story from my past. All right, it's time to start the game. Now that my flashback is over.
Great WCG movie, by the way.
Oh, thank you, I guess. Very sad. All right, it's time. It's time